Hello folks, welcome to Golden Hour here in the South Atlantic. I have a new tree to introduce you today that you haven't seen on the channel before. This is known as the Wild Tamarind, the River Tamarind, the Horse Tamarind, the White Tamarind, but it's not tamarind at all. It's not Tamarindus indica from India. It is actually just the common name they give. Leucaena leucocephala is the name of this one. It's a Fabaceae from Central America. This is what the seed pod looks like. Has many seeds in it. It grows these. You'll see these everywhere from in Central America. They're invasive in Asia now. You'll see them. I got one here. The roots are coming out the bottom, so we're going to separate these. And this here I put in a small pot just to see what the roots would look like in a contained space. So let's look at those today and see what we're going to do with the bonsai options. Let's get started. Let's get a view of the seedlings here. I grew these from seed, by the way. They're quite prolific growers. Here's the smaller of the two. You can see the roots are starting to come out of the substrate. Bipennate leaf structure, as common as Fabaceae family. Here's a close-up of the seed pod. Pretty cool. So let's get the small one out of the pot first. This should be fairly easy. Plastic pot, so I'll just do some squeezing strategically, and then I'll just lift. Bam! Yeah, it's got quite. See how many roots is there? It's already starting to spiral, so it's root bound, which is kind of expected. But that's how fast. I grew this from seed. This is, I don't know, maybe 8 months old, max. Could be even 7. So let's go ahead and just use the root hook, pull some of this apart. That's fairly easy to do. Some of the weeds out of there. Get some roots at the surface. Yeah, I think it's definitely time for a repot on that. So it's got a strong root system. I would say ideal root system for bonsai. The leaves are a bit big. See, as soon as I started breaking out of the pot, it started to close up the leaves a little bit. Doesn't like being handled. It's sensitive to outside stimuli. The scientific word for that escapes me at the moment. But I'll try to put that into the description later. So use my hands here gently. So just wanted to liberate these roots. See what kind of a system here. It's very flat. Very flat root system. Very good. That's awesome. A lot of these big, fat, thick roots here are new growth. So I'm going to leave those alone for now. Let this tree do its thing. I'm looking for nodules. I don't actually see symbiotic nodules. Doesn't mean they don't exist. Just don't see them in this pot. I'm just going to go ahead and put it into one of these for now. Maybe use some of its original soil there to help stabilize it. That's fine. But yeah, that was pretty easy. So you take the two out of the larger pot now. So let's get that started. So I got it on a fisheye right now. Hopefully you guys can see the root base of these. They're quite tall. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze this. This is also plastic. Help loosen up that soil. Like so. See if I can't lift them out together. Nah, they're in there. I might just try to do it the old-fashioned way and just dump it. There we go. Squeeze the pot. Get this all emptied out. Let's see, get these trees out of here. Get some lots and lots of roots. Got some sandy soil here. It's sandy and rocky as it likes to grow in. Pioneer species, so here we go. Got some movement. Got the root ball for both of them. Bam! There it is. Get this guy out of there. I will recycle this. Wow. Look at that, guys. A little bit better on the root ball here. So there they are. Zoom in for you, perhaps. If it wants to cooperate, that is. Dirt on the fingers doesn't make this an easy process. Bam, there it is. That's what you want to see. So that's what the roots of the species looks like after being in a pot for, well, this pot they've been in for at least 6 months. I grew them out of something else beforehand. So let's get these free, separated, and... Alright, so I use the root hook here and get some of the more aggressive stuff out of the way. Yeah, definitely root bound, but has to be expected. 2 trees in one medium-sized pot. Try to get them to separate, but that's easier said than done. Probably better to do that with a saw, huh? Definitely got 2 individual root balls here. Yeah, well, I think that was probably the best way. There we go. Well, these roots are all matted together. See, look at that. That's nasty. I ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that, but that's what the root system looks like. Almost like a carrot. That's quite the taproot, huh? For bonsai, we don't want that. Will this be used for bonsai? Or do I want the other one? This one's pretty straight. I don't let this grow more. This will be for the old pot. So I'm going to transfer some of this gravel back to the base. That was the base of the original pot. That helped with the drainage. That's why we do the gravel on the bottom. I'll backfill that with sandy loam. There we go. I should, we'll put that over there for now. Get back to you soon, tree. Stay there. Now let's get this other one liberated. This one seems to have quite a much more serious thing going on at the base. It's not that there's 2 trees grown together, but it's got like a split taproot. I haven't seen that before in any of the trees I've worked on. That's pretty interesting. I'll give you a zoom once I've liberated all the garbage here. Now I'm looking for nodules on this root system. It's been a little bit more developed. I would say I don't see the bacteria, but that doesn't mean it won't find a symbiotic relationship somewhere. This taproot is huge, by the way. It was down to here. This is going to be the bonsai. It's going to need some drastic cutting. Will it survive? Good question. Good question. So, let me just clean this up. I'll be right back. And for reference, here is the Wild Tamarind, or the Ipo, or the tree we're working on, and this is actual Tamarind indica. Tamarindus indica. So that's maybe why they're confused. The leaves are quasi-similar. So I have the other Wild Tamarind tree root system and all washed up. The double taproot, very strange, but I'm going to deal with it. My plan is to, well, I've seen these trees cut completely down by gardeners here in the local neighborhood because it's invasive. It just grows everywhere. You saw the seed pod. That's just one, and it grows like hundreds of these each tree. So lots of them grow everywhere. They cut them down, they grow right back, just as a weed would. So my plan is to do 50% roots, 50% top, put it in here. The small one at the small pot, I just gave it an upgrade. I'm gonna leave it alone, let it just get some vigor, get that trunk get bigger. So that's the plan for the little guy. I'll show you the big guy at the end of the video, but this is what we're gonna focus on now, because I'm gonna make this a bonsai tree. It's got a nice thick trunk, and I think it's got potential for radial roots here at the top. There's a few that we can free up, but these huge taproots gotta go. So I'm gonna take, for now, I'll just take 50%, well, probably more than 50%. There's one, there's two. Now, I'm not gonna try to make root cuttings. There's plenty of this tree around, so no need to do that. There's potential radial stuff here on the top is what I really want to save. This is just to support the rest of the tree to help it bounce back, although they don't need to be that long. You see I'm protecting this little thin brand, thicker than the other one, white one that's brand new. That's new growth. Leave that alone. You see that? Leave that alone. Leave that. See, it's attached. That's some thicker growth on the top radials too. So I'll leave those top radials alone. But these bottom guys are really. Remember, roots, like branches, will ramify where you cut them. There we go. Leave that in there for now until it bounces back. Now for the top of the tree, we could do some I see there's nodes here. The inner nodes get really long starting up here, so I'm going to cut it back to here on an angle. That's all gone. Goodbye, tree. That's what we're dealing with for a tree now. Much more manageable. Am I going to leave the side shoot? Also going to cut that because the inner nodes are long. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that for now. So it's got some foliage left. Don't want to take all the foliage off. We're going into winter, so I'm going to leave a strong root base, a strong top. I'm going to seal the top with root sealant. I'm going to put this in here, into this tree. I'm going to radial this out. Use the fork nature to help stabilize the tree even. Go from there. You zoom up on that work next. A little close up on there for you. Neighbor dogs has a lot to say. But I'm going to stabilize this in here better. I'm going to fill this in with soil now. Alright, so give the I'm going to call this the actual Bonsai tree here in training. The others, I'm going to let them, they're just nursery stock as far as I'm concerned. And once these thicken up, this guy especially and this one, I'll cut them back like I did this one. This one is going to be the one we follow along and give the updates for now. The other two will be placed in the garden. It's time to place the wound sealant. The wood on these actually are strong enough for make furniture and other useful things. That's a hardwood, so it's also a good tree for making charcoal. It's also the foliage and the beans it grows. Great fodder for livestock, so that's one of the reasons why it's grown, and it's one of the reasons why it's everywhere now. Everyone used it for those reasons, and now it just grows and grows and grows. So these have been sealed, they've been watered, all three of them. I want to thank you all for hanging in for another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. If you have any comments or questions, put them down below. Consider liking and subscribing. It gives me motivational support. And until next time, take care.